Good morning, friends. This is Dr. Mark again, bringing you the Dr. Mark Dissertation Mentoring Handbook, Book 1, Strategies for Quantitative Research. Again, the purpose of this is to help you grow wings so that you can fly high in your dissertation research. Book 1 is meant for doctoral learners working on quantitative dissertation projects. I encourage you to read this book the earliest possible in your dissertation writing process, preferably before you start formulating your statement of the problem. This book is supported by doctoral research seminars that I provide, and you can find them in the GHCS Institute, which stands for GHCS Global Healthcare Systems Institute. I also want to tell you that we run the Journal of the Global Healthcare Systems, and if you are interested in publishing, then we can publish your work there as well. Now, the purpose of this recording, this is the introductory recording, is to let you know that I'll be creating about 45 lessons on how to design your quantitative research studies based on the Dr. Mark Dissertation Mentoring Handbook, Book 1. And in this particular series, I will focus mainly on the strategies for the quantitative research. Then in the second series, we shall focus on the strategies for qualitative research. The purpose of making these recordings is to provide you with knowledge that can help you go through your dissertation pain-free. As you know, the dissertation is the most difficult project you will be undertaking in the near future. Now, I developed the Dr. Mark Dissertation Mentoring Handbook from memos I gathered I collected when I was working with mentees, and I developed those memos to help me in my role as a research mentor and the chair of dissertation committees. All the memos used to help me develop this book came from mentoring conversations, because I wrote a memo after each conversation with a mentee. The mentoring process involves mentees seeking clarification from the mentor. Questions from different mentees are recurrent. Over time, I found that we are dealing with similar questions or concerns. If I was going to be of any help to the mentee's effort to clarify the multitude of questions arising when crafting a dissertation, I realized I had to develop and maintain a system of addressing each concern as adequately as possible. Granted, each mentee is dealing with a unique problem of study. My observation, however, is that the research process is fairly standard, and it is possible to predict the concerns of a mentee even before he or she is able to voice them or view them in the eye of the mind. I like to view this as a feed-forward process, letting you know what to do before the fact. The feed-forward process is in contradistinction from the feedback process, or letting you know what you could have done after the fact. Each time I come on board of a new committee as a member, as a mentor or a member of the committee, I find myself digging back into my old memos for solutions to concerns raised by the new mentee. The more I do this, the more it becomes clear to me that a manual composed of higher order synthesis of responses to mentee concerns is indeed critical. I tell my mentees that the first thing to do when working on the dissertation proposal is to read the Self-Assessment Academic Review Checklist very carefully. The Self-Assessment Academic Review Checklist works the same way. The global positioning system mounted on the dashboard of your car works to help you find direction. The ARC, or as we call the Self-Assessment Academic Review Checklist, is a GPS of the dissertation proposal development. No point starting to write a proposal before knowing where you're heading. I urge you to read the academic review checklist carefully. Find out what it is asking of you in each section. Do not start the journey without knowing where you're going. Anthony Cortens, my dissertation mentor, hammered the importance of the ARC into my head. Each time we had a mentor-mentee conversation, he would tell me, Masharia, you must develop a checklist behavior. Dr. Cortens was expressing deep concern about what he saw in chapter 1 of my proposal document. The text was all over the map, need I say more? At that time, I did not know what he meant by checklist behavior. I had spent many months driving around the forests of the dissertation proposal without a GPS, which was quite obvious to Dr. Cortens when he saw the manuscript. When it clicked, I wish someone had hammered the importance of the ARC earlier in the process. Oh well, he saved me there. People, the checklist will save your lives. You do not follow the checklist and you are lost in the jungle. Your proposal will not pass the reviews. You will be all but dissertation. You must develop a checklist behavior. Of course, the fundamental message in the idea of checklist behavior is that there is a process to everything. Process means the way things work. Things work the way they work. Things don't work the way they don't work. In order to be successful in life, you have to understand this fundamental principle. There is a process to everything. You become successful when you know what the process in the question is, how it works, and how you can use it, or how the process is relevant to your situation. Did you get that? Whenever you face a situation, you have to ask yourself 3 questions. What process is involved in this situation? How does this process work? And how is this process relevant to my situation? Now, the ARC checklist is a map of a process. It is a process map. When you look at the checklist, you have to ask yourself, what is the ARC? How does it work? How will it work to help me develop the proposal? The checklist is divided into multiple sections. For each section, ask yourself, what is this section about? How does it work? How is it relevant to my study? These 3 questions are the trinity of survival on Earth. Interestingly, survival is about knowing how things work. Survival is about knowing the process. Those who know the process survive. Those who do not know the process do not survive. They are ABD. It is critical to know that things work the way they work. Things do not work the way they do not work. Do not write a proposal without following the checklist. It will not work because it does not work that way. The proposal works with the checklist. If you do not know the checklist, you will not survive. In this book, I emphasize the importance of knowing the process in each section of your proposal. I try to explain how you can use the principle of trinity of survival to conquer the dissertation step by step. Sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, section by section, chapter by chapter. I have attempted to address the checklist of elements, each sentence in a paragraph, each paragraph in a section, each section in a chapter, and each chapter in the entire document. You must always remember the following things about integrity of a dissertation. The integrity of your dissertation will depend on the integrity of the chapters contained in the dissertation. The integrity of the chapters will depend on the integrity of the sections in the chapter. The integrity of each section in a chapter will depend on the integrity of each paragraph in the section. The integrity of each paragraph in a section will depend on the integrity of each sentence in a paragraph. As you can see, each sentence determines the integrity of your entire dissertation. I attempt in this book to help you develop mastery in exploiting the underlying process in each section to cover all elements in that section, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph. Thank you very much.